This was the scene back in March in Kazakhstan. A Soyuz rocket carrying 2 American astronauts and a Russian cosmonaut blasted off for the 6-hour flight to the International Space Station. Today, 289 days later, just one of them remains in space. And this morning, she is setting a space milestone. Christina Koch now holds the record for the longest single space flight by a woman. But her space odyssey is about much more than just the duration of her time away from Earth. Christina Koch was greeted with hugs when she arrived at the International Space Station 8.5 months ago, realizing a dream she'd had since childhood. The 40-year-old engineer was originally supposed to spend 6 months in space, but in April, her stay was extended to last nearly a year. And today, she breaks the record held by retired astronaut Peggy Whitson for the longest single trip in space by a woman.
It's a huge honor. Peggy is a heroine of mine who's also been kind enough to mentor me through the years, and so it's a reminder to give back and to mentor when I get back.
Part of Koch's mission is to study the effects of long-term space travel on the human body.
I also like to think of it as it's not so much how many days you're up here, but what you do with each of those days. So that reminds me to bring my best to every single day. I think it's wonderful for science. It helps us push the boundaries of what we know about what long-duration spaceflight can do to the human body, and that's important for our future exploration deeper into going to Mars and also returning to the moon and going there to stay.
Since her mission began, Koch has completed 4 spacewalks, including one that was history-making in its own right.
Right beneath your feet, so don't move down. Copy.
In October, she and fellow astronaut Jessica Meir conducted the first all-female spacewalk, snapping selfies as they swapped out faulty batteries on the International Space Station, and following it up with a phone call from President Trump.
I just want to congratulate you. What you do is incredible. You're very brave people. I don't think I want to do it. I must tell you that.
Koch discussed that milestone with us yesterday on CBS This Morning. Why do you think we're seeing these milestones now for women in space?
You know, I think it's a wonderful time for human spaceflight because I think we finally recognize that it's not worth going unless we go together, that it's important to not turn away any innovative idea, that everyone has a role and everyone has a place at the table as we move forward. If we're going to go for all humanity and to support humanity's love for exploration, then we have to do it with all humanity. And I think we're seeing that as our plans unfold for going back to the moon, seeing the first woman walk on the moon in 2024, and just recognizing that we have to go together if we're going to go and we're going to do it right.
While she's not on Earth, Koch has kept her eye on home, sharing photos of our planet with her 145,000 Twitter followers. Most recently, a picture of Mount Everest.
I would say the most awe-inspiring thing that I've ever seen is the northern lights or southern lights, or aurora as we call them, from above on a planetary scale. I've had the opportunity working in Antarctica and the Arctic to see them from below and the beautiful shimmering lights along the sky and taking over the whole sky, but to look down on the Earth and see the entire shape of the auroras, you know, as they form near the poles was truly an amazing sight and just literally took my breath away.
Being away for so long has required sacrifice, including spending holidays away from family while suspended in zero gravity. Still, Koch says she hopes her record doesn't last long.
My number one hope for this milestone is that the record is exceeded again as soon as possible, because that means that we're continuing to push the boundaries.
And in the end, it should be 328 days. February 6, 2020 is when she's set to come back. What I think is so neat is she had talked to us yesterday about how, you know, she wanted to do this as a young girl, but her class is the first that was an even split of men and women. So all the young girls now out there that maybe look out there and can dream about doing this too.
And I know spacewalks, they've gotten more routine if they can ever be routine, but I never get tired of looking at that. It's just so fascinating.
And the view's not bad.
The view is not bad at all.
I bet that does not get old.
No.